Hello, welcome to tonight's class. This is going to be a 30-minute beginner level mat class, as always designed to be a little bit challenging with lots of modifications along the way. So however you're feeling today, listen to your body and we are going to have a great workout. So we are going to start with just some side stretches with our arms overhead, moving a little bit briskly here as we just stretch out our side body, starting really gentle, taking big inhales and exhales just to get that blood flowing through your body, that breath flowing through your body. You can kind of start to add in the legs here, just warming up. This is going to be a fun class today. I'm excited about the routine that we have ahead of us. Let's go ahead and add a squat in between each stretch. Again, moving a little bit briskly because this is our warm-up. We squat and stretch, squat and stretch. You don't have to do the squat in the middle. Just kind of helps to warm up those legs. Great job. One more. Here we go. And then we're going to keep those arms overhead, both arms extended, and we're just going to go into some marches, alternating legs, trying not to shift too much from side to side, but really grounding down through the foot of your standing leg as you slowly, with controlled movement, bring that leg up in a marching stance, 90-degree bend in that leg. You can also just have your hands at prayer if you'd like. You can also just point your toe out in front of you if your hip flexors maybe aren't feeling quite warmed up enough yet to do a full crunch of the knee. Totally understand. Those hip flexors can take some time to warm up. So don't stress your body out just yet if it's not ready for it. Remembering to breathe, really pulling up through those abs. This is a core move. Even though the legs are the main movers here, it's actually the core that is doing all the work to pull your legs up. Very good. Effectively warming up our whole trunk here. Shoulders, core, legs are getting in on it. Balance is being challenged. You're doing great. Let's add a little bit of a rotation. So as you bring the knee up, we're just going to rotate our arms down to the outside of the thigh and then back up. We rotate other side, trying to keep those hips facing forward so we're not bending over to the side that we're rotating toward. Really keeping that same exact marching motion with your hips facing forward. We're just rotating through the waist. You also don't have to have your arms overhead in this position if you'd like to. You can also keep your arms in prayer and just kind of think more of bringing your elbow toward your knee in this position. You can have your forearms stacked if you'd like. Whatever works for you today. Choose your intensity level. This is your workout, moving your body, whatever feels good in your body today. Great job. Let's do a few more. Going at your own pace. Last one. Great job. Okay, we're just going to leave one arm extended now. You can do either one that you want. We're going to shift the weight so that you are going to be on one of your standing legs opposite of the hand that's in the air. And what we're going to do is we're going to crunch elbow to knee on the same side and then extend both limbs. We crunch in and extend. This is oblique work here. Keep a small bend in that standing knee. Really think about crunching through those side abs as you bring your elbow to your knee, and only go as far as you're able to. So So if that looks like maybe just bringing your knee up a little bit and not even using the arm, that's great. If that just looks like bringing them so they're not coming as close together, whatever looks good for you today, whatever feels good in your body, do that. Remembering to breathe. Standing ab work is no joke. Gets me out of breath real fast. It is very effective. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Switch standing legs, small bend in that standing leg, opposite arm overhead, and we crunch elbow to knee. So as opposed to when we were doing marches where our knee was coming up in front of us, this is a little bit more to the side. So we have a little bit of an external hip rotation going on here. Great for hip mobility and hip strength. And of course, can't miss that we are working that core, burning out the whole abdominal wall. Your lower abs are engaged here. Obviously, mostly your side abs, the obliques. Great job. Let's just do 2 more. Amazing job. Kind of circle those hips out. That was a lot of hip flexor work. So just make big circles with your hips. Allow your upper body to move with the hips and then reverse directions. Feel really good just to release those hip flexors. And then we are going to come down all the way down on the mat onto our tummies for a little bit of prone work here. So the first thing we're going to do is get into proper alignment here. So I want your legs spread as wide as your mat. I want your pubic bone pressing down into the mat, engaging your core. We're going to bring our chest down to the mat. Your gaze is going to be at the mat. So think about your nose pointing down toward the mat. And we're going to do some scapular palm lifts. So your scapula is your shoulder blades. So I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades together so much so that your palms lift up off the mat. Hold it for just a second and then rest your palms back down. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the palms. Hold it for a second. There we go. Your abs are on. Keep going at your own pace. I want you to think about if I had my hand between your shoulder blades, your shoulder blades would be retracting and squeezing my hand and then releasing. All right, so every time we squeeze our shoulder blades together, think of that visual. Squeeze my hand and let it go. Great job. So good for those upper back muscles, for your posture. Love it. You're doing amazing. Okay, level 2 of this move, we're going to bring the palms up and hold them, and then I want you to extend one arm overhead. Bring it back to the starting position. Extend the other arm overhead. Bring it back to the starting position. Now we do both arms. Both arms. Your gaze is still down at the mat, and we rest our palms down. Great job. So we do single, double arm extension. All right, let's try it again. Your shoulder blades squeeze together, palms up off the mat. Start with your right arm overhead and pull it back to your side. Left arm overhead and pull it back. Both arms overhead and pull it back and rest. Keep going at your own pace. Keep breathing. Abs are engaged. Your glutes are also recruited in this position. Definitely your shoulders. Amazing job. You can also just stick with doing just single arm overhead. If the double is too much, just take it out. No big deal. You're getting a ton of shoulder work. Either way. One more. Woo! Amazing job. Let's push back up into a cobra. So we're letting our back have this really nice extension as we lift our head up to the sky, pushing through our arms into the mat. Deep breath. Great job. All right, we're going to come back down into that prone position, and this time we're going to work our lower body. So again, your abs are on. Your pubic bone is pressing down into the mat. I want your gaze down toward the mat. And what we're going to do, you can either keep your arms in this position that we had when we were doing our upper body work, or you can take your right arm and just place it right in front of you. So you're gazing at your forearm now. And what I want you to do is take your left arm and just tent your fingers out to the side. So your fingers are just to the outside of your mat, and just tent your fingers to give you a little bit of traction for what we're about to do. With your left leg, I want you to bend your knee of your left leg and flex your foot. What we're gonna do as you're gazing down toward your forearms, abs are engaged, I want you to try and lift your thigh bone off the ground in this position. So it's kind of like we're doing a donkey kick in this position. If we were in 4-point kneeling, we would call this a donkey kick. But I want you to think about stamping the sky with the bottom of your foot. You are recruiting like crazy through your booty, through your hamstrings, and this hand that's out to the side, is you can kind of lean into it a little bit to help get that thigh off the ground. So as you can see, my leg is not moving a whole bunch. It's not like it's going 5 feet up in the air. I'm lifting my thigh up maybe an inch off the mat. But you are going to feel this like crazy in your butt and in your hamstrings. Remember, your gaze is still down toward the mat. Your abs are on. You're still breathing, firing through your butt. Your opposite leg is extended. Foot is flexed in this position. Amazing. Now what we're going to do is extend that leg long, still with a flexed foot, and then just curl it back in and extend. We have our hamstring curls in this position. This like isolates that leg like crazy, but we're really barely doing anything. But I bet you're feeling those muscles burn, because I know mine are on fire. It feels so good. I feel like this is a move that's going to make me sore tomorrow. Great job. We'll do one more. Amazing job. Let's just come back down into child's pose to release that pressure we were kind of feeling on our lower back there. Just kind of sway back and forth. Let your head rest down on the mat. Deep breaths. Breathe into those lower back muscles. Great job. Okay, we're going to switch sides. So I'm going to come on over here on into our prone position. So this time we have your left forearm that's going to be right in front of you. So you're going to be gazing down at your left forearm, pubic bone down into the mat. We're going to be working that right leg. So we're going to tent our fingers out to the side of our right hand. We're going to tent our fingers, keep that elbow bent and your shoulder nice and engaged in this position. We bend at our knee of our right leg, flex the foot, and we try to lift that thigh bone off the mat, putting pressure into our tented fingers on the right side, moving at your own pace. Don't just throw your leg up there. We want to be using intentional strength, really firing through your glutes to lift up your thigh for just a second before slowly lowering it back down. The more controlled you can make this movement, the more you're going to get out of it, the more muscle will build. And this is building muscle, my friend. Whew, great job. Really firing through that leg. Just a super small range of motion. It is small but mighty, am I right? You're still breathing. Great job. All right, let's go into those hamstring curls now. So we extend the leg, really straighten that leg, flex the foot. Your thigh is off the ground, and then we curl it in. Extend. Curl it in with the strength of your hamstrings. We curl it in. Press your pubic bone down into the mat to get out of your lower back if you're feeling the strain in your lower back. I remembered to say that because I was feeling a strain in my lower back. So I'm really telling myself, press your pubic bone down into your mat, Brittany. Get out of your lower back. This is all about your hamstring booty. Neutral spine. Looking down at your forearm. Amazing job. Just one more. Great. Whew, okay, child's pose. That was amazing. Great job. Those tiny little Pilates moves get so deep into those muscle fibers. Feels amazing. Deep breaths in this child pose. Great job. All right, we're going to go into a side lying series now. So let's come on down onto either side. I'm on my left side right now, and I want you to extend your bottom arm completely straight and just rest your head on your bottom arm. With your bottom leg, go ahead and just bend at the knee. So it's going to help give you a little bit extra stabilization. Your top leg is long. What we're going to do is some oblique stretches in this position. So we're going to lift up our leg, flex your foot, lift up our leg and our upper body at the same time, just until you're making a nice long line from your head all the way down to your toes. You can slide that hand up toward your knee. You're going to feel it in your obliques, and then slide back down. So we take a breath and we reach, fire through those obliques and down. You can also just take out the leg if that's a little bit too much for you and just bring your upper body up and down. That's a great option as well. You're going to feel it in your obliques no matter what, trust me. But if you want it to be a little bit more intense, you can absolutely add that leg in. Very nice. All of this work coming from your core. So if you feel the strain in your neck, try to keep your neck nice and neutral. So you're not straining toward your leg like that. We want to keep the neck nice and neutral, looking forward as we lift with the strength of our obliques. Also working the booty as we lift those legs. Love this move. Doing amazing. We're a little over halfway through class today. Great job. All right, now we're just gonna prop up our head in our hand. So instead of resting it on your bicep, prop it up into your hand, and we're just gonna do some hot potato in this position. So, we're going to do some thigh rotations in this position first. So what I want you to do is think about your thigh bone right now is facing me. It's facing toward the screen. I want you to think about rotating your thigh so that it's facing the ceiling, and then rotate it so it's facing the floor. So even though this is causing my foot to make this big, like half circle motion, that whole motion is coming from my thigh. It's coming from that ball and socket joint that is our hip bones, right, in our pelvis, and we are rotating our thigh bone, which is going to cause your foot to make that little half circle. You can also think about your knee. So if you look at your knee, you can see that it is now pointing toward the floor, and then we rotate it so it's up toward the sky. This is super good for the mobility of your hips, super good for the strength of your hips, and also just all the muscles surrounding your hips. This is so good for it. Great move to incorporate in any workout. Great job. A little bit of an awkward one if you've never done it before, but it's good. You feel it a lot in your inner thighs too, for sure. Okay, next time we have our thigh bone facing upward and our heel is facing down, toes facing up, we're going to do some hot potatoes. You can come on up onto your elbow for this position. It'll make it feel a little less awkward. We're going to do some hot potatoes. So I want you to drop your heel. I can't actually touch the mat. I'm not as flexible as maybe some would be, but just go toward one corner of your mat and then draw a little rainbow toward the other corner of your mat. So we're drawing a little rainbow with our heel here. We go down and up over the rainbow and down. From corner of your mat to the other corner of your mat with your heel down, toes up. This is an external rotation of your hip in this position. Fire through your core and will definitely help, but you are going to feel this like crazy in your inner thighs, in your outer thighs, really just everything from the knee up. You're going to be feeling this for sure. We're moving nice and slow. We don't just want to throw it up there and bounce it off the ground. Controlled movements. That's what Pilates is all about. Mind muscle connection. We slow down, we control it, and we slowly burn out those muscles. Great job. All right, now let's go ahead and face our, actually let's bring it down for a second because my hip flexors are killing me. Go ahead and pat out your hip flexors, pat out your booty, whatever is feeling sore, pat it out a little bit. We're gonna stay on our elbow and we're going to face our thigh forward again. So your knee is facing forward, toes are facing forward. And we're just gonna do a little ab crunch in this position. So we crunch it in toward your abs as you bring your knee up toward your upper body and then press it away for a leg extension. We crunch and press away. Crunch and press. Great job. If you're really feeling good at this point, you can add a little arm. Pull your elbow back as you pull your knee forward and extend. Great job. Just gives a little bit more of a rotation through your abs, through your spine, which is always good. I love to throw in rotations anytime I can because I feel like we don't get enough rotation in our exercises or just in our daily life. Doing great. Let's do one more. Awesome. All right, we're gonna switch sides. So we're coming over to the other side of our mat again. Sorry that I'm kind of bouncing you around a little bit. So we're gonna start with those oblique reaches. So you're gonna come all the way down on your side. Rest your head on your bicep. Bend that bottom leg for a little extra stability. Hand on the side of your thigh. And we're going to reach, slide your hand up towards your knee as you lift your leg, flex your foot, lift your head, and then back down. Great job. Fire through those abs, through those obliques. Amazing work. These are hard. One of those things that looks like it'd be super easy, but in fact, it's pretty challenging. Go at your own pace. Remember that you're breathing in this position. Keep your neck nice and neutral so you're looking forward the entire time. Great job. Don't have to go up super high in this position to feel it. Just go as high as you're able to. Great job. Let's do one more. Awesome. Rest down. We're going to place our head in our hand now. And we're going to do those thigh rotations in this position. So lift your leg up to hip height, flex the foot, and then we're going to think about rotating the thigh up toward the sky and then down toward the ground. You can also look at your kneecap as an indicator. Is your kneecap looking up toward the sky and then rotating down? So I don't want you to focus on what your foot's doing because it would be easy to just move your foot like this, and that's not actually rotating through your thigh. So forget about what your foot's doing. Think about what direction your kneecap is facing. We go up toward the sky, we rotate down toward the ground. So you should be feeling this definitely kind of in that hip flexor region and through your booty, through your inner thighs, kind of that under booty area too. This is a very quite intense little move actually. Feels good though. Burns very deeply. Keeping your abs engaged in this position. Great job. All right, let's prop up on our elbow now, and we're going to keep our thighs rotated upward. So kneecap facing up, toes facing up, heel facing down. And we're going to do those hot potatoes. So one corner of your mat to the other corner of your mat. Or However, whatever feels good to you. You don't have to go all the way from corner to corner of your mat. You can also just do whatever feels good to you, whatever range of motion your body's able to do. All of us have different flexibility when it comes to our hips. So do what feels good to you, okay? Choose your intensity level. All movement is good movement. Trying to keep that external hip rotation so your thigh is facing the ceiling, knee is facing the ceiling. This is so much harder on the second side. Whew. Keeping your abs engaged. Amazing job. I'll give you a break in just a second. Trying to not let yourself collapse down into your shoulders. I just found that I was doing that, so we're nice and engaged in the upper body. All right, come down for a second. Pat out that hip flexor. She's working hard for us today. Okay, last thing for the side lying series is that ab crunch. So we extend our leg, thigh is facing forward, kneecap is facing forward, your foot is still flexed. We do that ab crunch. We bring the knee in toward the upper body. Feel that crunch all through your entire abdominal wall. We're still breathing. We go exhale as we crunch. You can add that arm if you want. Extend overhead and crunch it back. Add that little rotation. Feels so good. I feel my stressful day metabolizing out of my body. Amazing. Great job. Let's do 3 more. So we go 3, moving with control, 2, and last one. Boom. Love it. Amazing. All right, we are going to end with a little bit of weightless arm work, of course. So we can sit however you feel comfortable. You can sit on your legs, sit crisscross, whatever feels good to you. I want you to bring your arms up to goalpost 90-degree angles and your arms. And what we're going to do is just extend out to the side with your palms facing forward, fingers extended, and then we come back to 90 degrees. We extend and bring it in. Extend and back to goalposts. Continuing with intention, all the muscles of your arms are firing. Your arms are firing, your abs are engaged. We don't want to just give up at the end of our workout. I want to squeeze every last bit out of it. Amazing job. But as always, as I've already said 50 times in this class, listen to your body. So you don't have to squeeze every last ounce out of this workout if your body is telling you that it's done. It's okay. It's okay. Whatever you can do today is enough. All right, let's keep those arms extended with the palms facing forward. Pinkies are facing down to the ground, and we just pulse up, up, up. So instead of pulsing down, 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 we want to think about pulsing our thumbs up toward the ceiling with intention. So we're not just waving our wings here. We're really pulsing them up, 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 firing through all of your muscles. I'm starting to feel this in my shoulders and my biceps. Feels amazing. Abs are still on, you're still breathing. Your shoulders aren't up here at your ears. Drop them away from your ears. Great job. Let's do a prayer pulse now. So we're going to bring our forearms together, glue your elbows together as best as you're able to, and glue your palms together. And we're just going to pulse up, up. So again, like we just did, we're not pulsing down, down, down. We're pulsing up, up. Your spine is nice and tall. To think about elbow is going from chin to nose, chin to nose. Press your forearms together. Press your palms together as hard as you can. We have 90 seconds left of class. Amazing job. 3, 1. Whew, shake that out. Do you think we can do one more round of the weightless arms that we just did? Do we have it in us? I think so. Okay, let's do it. We come to 90-degree goalposts. Wipe the sweat out of my eyes. 90-degree goalposts, we extend and bring it back. Extend. Moving with intention, moving because we love these beautiful bodies. We're so thankful that they can move. There's nothing wrong with them. We're not trying to correct anything about our bodies. We're not trying to fix any flaw that society has said that our body has. No, ma'am. We're doing this because we love our freaking bodies. All right, we keep our arms extended and we pulse our thumbs up toward the sky. Amazing. You can bend your arms if you need to. If you're just dying, bend those elbows a little bit. Bring your arms down closer to the ground a little bit. Amazing. Let's go prayer pulses. Forearms together, palms together, elbows together, and we pulse it up, 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 up. Amazing. Isometric hold. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Oh my goodness. That was amazing. Amazing job. Let's go ahead and stretch out just really, really fast. Don't leave me yet. Clasp your hands behind your back and just press your palms together as you push them away from your back. I'm double jointed in my shoulder or in my elbows, so it's not really helpful for me to pop my elbows out because that's not actually really helping my joints. So I'm not going to pop them out. But if you're able to straighten your arms without being double jointed like me, that's great. Or just stretch them out as far away from your body as you're able to safely. Very good. Great. And then let's extend your legs out in front of you and then bend either one, doesn't matter. Bend one leg and place that foot on the opposite side of the outer thigh of the other leg, and then just wrap your arm around that leg, and you're just going to press your chest toward your thigh as you give a little twist. So you're twisting your chest up and away from your knee, if that makes sense. Gives your outer thighs, your booty, a little bit of your hamstrings a stretch. We'll switch sides. So we bend that other leg and place the foot on the outside of the other leg. Wrap your arm around, other hand behind you. Nice tall spine, and we press it toward our knee and then twist a little bit. Just as much as you can, whatever feels comfortable. Don't push your body to do anything that it's not quite ready to do. This is just stretching out all that booty work we did today, all that hamstring work. Amazing. All right, if there's anything else that you feel needs stretching, you want to take a few minutes to just take some deep breaths at the end of this day, at the end of this workout, by all means. But thank you so much for joining me for class today. It means so much. I would love to hear what you thought of today's class, as always, and I hope you have a great rest of your night.